Say amen. Amen. We come up to preaching time. We never go down to preaching, but we go up. And so I'm excited about what the Lord will say to us on today. I get to sit down, and another preacher gets to stand up. I'll say this before he comes. We all know him here. Minister Adrian Jordan and his family is a tremendous blessing to this church. I told him, man, preach with everything you got in you. You know, and I know he will, because it's something about the Holy Ghost. You preach every time like it's your last time. And I'm just so honored for him to be here with us and to preach and to always, anytime I ask him, I say this all the time, anything I have ever asked this preacher, he will do it. He's a praying man, he's a word man, and I thank God for that. I want to go back a little bit before he comes, just to, as he's prepping to come to us. This might go to over some of the younger people's head, but I got some older folks in here that know this one. And they're doing something like this. Shine on me, shine on me, let the light from the lighthouse shine on me, shine on me, shine on me, let the light from the lighthouse shine on me. I heard the voice of Jesus say, come to me and rest, lie down thy weary one, lie down thy head upon my breast, shine on me, shine on me, let the light from the lighthouse shine on me.
Let me bow our heads for prayer. Lord, we come to you this morning, oh God. Lord, hide me and let your people see you, oh God. Lord, work through these lips of clay, oh God. That your word may fall on your people's heart, oh God. That whatever word that is, that they may accept it, oh God, and go out a different way than what they came in, oh God. Whatever they may be going through, oh God. Lord, that they may talk today to give it to you. Whatever it may be, God, there's nothing too hard for you, God. And Lord, we give you praise right now in your Son, Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Amen.
See a lot of faces from yesterday. Glad to see that. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. That's a good thing. We were just talking about that this morning. Me and Aaron was talking about this up on last night. And that's a good thing to be back in the house of the Lord, because like I always say, God didn't have to do it, but He did. That's enough to give Him glory by itself. It's enough to give Him glory by itself. I see my friend that I work with, Lisa, at Walmart. Glad to see you. But we're gonna go to the book of Daniel. Get on to the message. I'm not gonna be before you long. Well, I'm not gonna try to be before you long, but I'm gonna let God do what He got to do. We'll go to the book of Daniel, chapter 3. Start at verse 10. You gotta say amen. Thou, O King, hast made a decree that every man that shall hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, dulcimer, and all the kinds of music shall fall down and worship the golden image. And whoso falleth not down and worship, that he should be cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. There are certain Jews whom that has set over the affairs of the province of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These men, O King, have not regarded thee. They serve not thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. Then Nebuchadnezzar, in his rage and fury, commanded to bring Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Then they brought these men before the king. Nebuchadnezzar spoke and said unto them, Is it true, O Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? Do not ye serve my gods, nor worship the golden image which I have set up? Now if ye be ready, that at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the image which I have made. Well, but if ye worship not, ye shall be cast the same hour into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Who is that God that shall deliver you out of my hands? Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this matter. If it be so, our God whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and He will deliver us out of thine hand, King, O King. But if not, be it known unto thee, O King, that we will not serve thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. Then was Nebuchadnezzar full of fury, and the form of his visage was changed against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Therefore he spoke and commanded that they should heat the furnace 7 times more than it won't be heated. And he commanded the most mighty men that were in the army to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and to cast them into the burning fiery furnace. Then these men were bound in the coats, their hosen, and their hats, and their other garments, and was cast in the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Therefore, because the king's commandment was urgent, and the furnace exceedingly hot, the flames of the fire slew those men that took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And these 3 men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego fell down, bound into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Then Nebuchadnezzar the king was astonished, and rose up in haste, and spoke and said unto his counselors, Did not we cast three bound men into the midst of the fire? They answered and said unto the king, True, O king. He answered and said, Lo, I see 4 men loose, walking in the midst of the fire, and they have no hurt, and the form of the 4th is like the Son of God.
Amen.
That's powerful by itself. Oh my God. Y'all can be seated. I know I read a lot, but it's a lot to be covered. Nebuchadnezzar, he made a golden image. And how do we know that God said, do not worship an image? Yeah. And he wanted Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Well, you know, all the time that you got snitches that want to see if you're doing right anyway. They always want to look around and see if you're doing right. Yeah. So they can have that excuse and say, that's the reason why I don't serve God. Right. Because of, look what you're doing. Yeah. They're going to try to find fault in you anyway. Yes. When you're trying to do the right thing. Yes. That's how the enemy lurks around. He says that the enemy come to kill, steal, and destroy. Right. He's not trying to kill, steal, and destroy. Right. He ain't coming to only bother you, but he's coming to destroy you. Yeah. Because that's his job. But it says that when they went and told on Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, Nebuchadnezzar come to him and said, well, if you don't bow down to this golden image, I'm gonna throw you into the fiery furnace. But that didn't shake the 3 Hebrew boys, because then they go down and say, let it be known now, we know that God can deliver us. But if he don't deliver us out of this, let it be known that we still won't serve your golden image. Hey, even though we get into stuff sometimes and people push us to say, well, there ain't no God. You're going to continue to go through what you're going through. You're not going to ever come out of this mess. Yes. And sometimes you got to be careful. You got to have a strong mind in Christ. Yes. Because what happens is you'll slip back out there believing what they say. Right. And the things that's going on in the world and with people, things look good unto the eye. But not good for the soul and the spirit. That's what it is. People, you got to watch who you associate yourself with or surround yourself with. Because they'll pull you exactly where they go. And the Bible always tells us, hey, there's no good thing that dwell in this flesh. But your flesh will pull you the wrong way. The flesh and the spirit is warring against each other. And if you continue to feed the flesh, what happens? The flesh is going to be more powerful over that spirit. That's what's going to end up happening. I heard somebody say, if a man had 2 dogs, and he said, this dog going to win. And said, somebody asked a question, asked him, how do you know that dog going to win every time? He said, because whichever one I want to win, I feed it. Okay. The difference between the spirit and the flesh. The flesh have the tendency of pulling us the wrong way. But the spirit dwells after the desires of God. It's uncomfortable sometimes. The bike get turned up sometimes. But how can you handle it when God allowed the fire? He may not come when you want him, but he's always on time. He allowed them to be set in the fire. Have you ever heard about gold, how gold is made? The gold has to be tried through the fire first. Things have to be tried through the fire first. Yeah, it's a lot of heartaches in this thing serving God. But it's all worth it. Because it said the suffering of this present time cannot compare to the glory of God that will be revealed to us. You can't look at what we're going through, because if you look at what you're going through, you're going to be shook. It's like a train derailing off the track. You gotta shake it together. This thing is not going to be a cakewalk. Like I said, you jump a couple numbers and you get a cake. It don't happen like that. Everything is not going to be pretty. When God blinded Paul on the road to Damascus, what God told Paul, before Paul recovered his sight, God said, you will suffer for my name's sake. And when you step into this thing as Christians, you will suffer. People are not going to like you. You're going to lose friends. You're going to go through. But it's good to lose them friends sometimes, because if they were your friends, they'll understand and say, okay, now I need to jump on board with him, because let me tell you something. Now I see what his God can do. I want to serve. Okay, all right. Okay. But anyway, it said Nebuchadnezzar in his rage, fury, commanded that he bring Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego to him. And he told them, if y'all don't serve this golden image, I'm gonna throw y'all into the fiery furnace. Go back to say, they said made up in their mind, we will not be shook because we know who our God is. So throw us in there. Well, he told the man, he said, bind them up. He threw them in all their clothes and everything, bind them up, wrapped them up, threw them off into the fire. But it said the ones that threw them off into the fire, it said because the fire, listen, the furnace was so hot, it was turned up 7 times hotter. It said when they threw them into the fire, the men that threw them into the fire, they died by throwing them into the fire. But listen at this though. When they threw Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the fire, now think about it now. Who died? The ones that threw. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and tell you. The thing that your enemy that's setting up for you is going to come right back around and get them. Huh? And God said, I shall prepare a table before you in the presence of your enemies. So your enemies can see that how in the world is he blessed? Because I set this up for him. So how is he not affected by what I set up for him? Because of the God that you serve. Because of the God that you serve. Come on now. Because of the God you serve. He said, throw him in the fire, bind them up and throw him in the fire. But then he go back and say, didn't we throw 3 in there? But it's a 4th one walking down there with him. They said, oh yeah, we threw him down there. But it's a 4th one walking down there. God walks around with you in the midst of the things that you're going through. He walks around with you. But I heard somebody say one time that when a teacher gives the test, they're quiet. Sometimes because we don't feel like God is there don't mean he's there. He ain't there. But it's for the building of you. Mold and make me, Lord. Sometimes you got to be careful when you say, Lord, I'm ready to move to another level. You better know what you're asking for. You better know what you're asking for. Because now what's going to happen is that fire going to be turned up on your furnace. Because if he don't do it, then you won't learn nothing. Then you won't be built. Come on now. A house cannot stand if the foundation is not right. Huh? It won't. I don't care what you say. Ask somebody that build houses. If the foundation is not right, that house is going to shift, it's going to fall, it is not going to stand for long. The foundation has to be God. And if you're not building it on God, then you're messing up. You can see a lot of times when we're going through stuff, we tend to turn to things that's not no good. It feels good in the flesh. Yeah, the flesh, it feels good. Right. Some people turn to drugs, some people turn to alcohol, some people turn to all kind of things. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But at the end of the day, that hole is still there and you're missing because it's supposed to be filled with Jesus. Amen. Amen. It's supposed to be filled with Jesus. Nothing that's filled, like I told you, you got a puzzle. You got a puzzle. And I can't find that piece that's supposed to fit in this puzzle. I can go to the store and buy all kind of puzzle pieces and it's not going to fit there. Right. Come on. It's not going to fit there. Right. So that means you can go do whatever you want to do to fill that empty spot, that void that's in your heart. No, Jesus the only one can fill that thing. You can try and try and try. And the only thing it's going to do is kill you. That's all it's going to do. Yes, the Bible says you sow into the flesh you reap corruption. You got to understand, your fiery furnace is not to kill you, it's to build you. Right. But how would you act? How are you going to act in the midst of this fiery furnace? Yes, huh? When everybody against you on the job? Right. When you're dealing with all kind of mess in life? Right. And you say to yourself, what have I done to deserve this? But you have to turn around and look at it and say, God just building me.
Yes, God. Yes,
God, I ain't did nothing.
Yes.
I'm serving God all I know how.
Yes, God.
And I'm still getting attacked from every side.
Yes, God.
But I know this thing coming to build me and not kill me.
Yes, it is.
How should I bounce back? How can I bounce back? Well, listen. Paul and Silas was in jail.
Right.
And one of them began to pray and praise God. And it said a jailhouse door shook open. But look at the reverse part of it. It said the guard went to kill himself. Paul Holland said, no, we still here. And it said the guard and his whole household was saved. Hey, God do everything for a reason. God do everything for a reason, things that we don't understand. But I heard Pastor and his pastor talking yesterday, and you know, they said, I don't want to understand everything. I don't want to know everything. I don't. Because it's scary to know everything. So much is given, much is required. So you better know what you're asking for. But continue to go through your fiery furnace, because your fiery furnace gonna build you, and people gonna look at, he don't look like what he been through. He don't look like what he been through. Then we turn around and go, well, why is she testifying about the goodness of the Lord? I've been praying too. Why God didn't show up for me?
Go ahead.
Are you believing God to show up for you?
Right.
Are you being patient and waiting for God to show up for you?
Right.
Are you doing what you're supposed to do for God to show up for you? Somebody say, well, is God in more than one place at one time? Yes, he is. I'm not present God. That's what he is.
Yeah.
Is he in more than one place at one time? Yes, he is. Hey, this Syrian man said, my servant is sick, is ill. Could you heal my servant? God said, yes, I heal him. Jesus was going to heal him. But you know what he said? He said, no. He said, I'm in authority and I have men under me. He said, but I'm not even worthy for you to even go to my house. And God was so moved by what he said. Jesus said, he told the Lord, he said, you can send the word. The Lord sent the word and he was healed in that very hour. In the beginning was the word. The word was with God and God was the word. So he sent the word and the man was healed while he was standing in another place. So yes, he is working in your situation while he's working on mine. He's working on yours and he's working on yours, he's working on yours. Even in the morning times. Even in the noon time. Even in the evening time. Yes, in the night time. And God is working at all times. He said, I never sleep or slumber. So if he never sleep or slumber, he's working in your behalf. That means, why do I throw a fit with sleeping at night? And I'm tossing and turning, worried about what I can't fix. But God said, I'm watching over you even while you sleep. Even while you rest. Pastor talked about rest last week. Sometimes you just need to leave it alone and go rest while God fixing that thing. But if you learn about it, then God can't fix it for you. You better leave it alone and let it go. And let God work it for you before it drives you crazy.
Go ahead. Come on. Say it, man.
That's what end up happening. You hear people all the time say, I feel like I'm losing my mind.
Yeah. Say it, man.
I feel like I can't take this no more. Lord, I can't do it. I can't do it. What are you going to benefit by giving up? What are you going to benefit by giving up?
Right.
Giving up. That's the only thing you're going to get from it. Daniel and the lions den. They threw Daniel in the lions den. You know they did. They lied on Daniel. Yeah. Threw him in the lions den. But Daniel, it said Daniel was in there praying. Daniel trusted God. Yeah. And they left Daniel in there overnight with the lions. Yes. And anybody know a lion? You go out there in the jungle if you want to by yourself. You know what that lion gonna do, right? He gonna do what he built to do. Yes, tear you apart. Yes, sir. So then when they kept him in there overnight, the king went back, King Darius went back and called out Daniel's name. Daniel answered it. God sent an angel to shut the lion's mouth. He sent an angel to shut the lion's mouth. So those same ones, here you go again about the enemy. The thing that's designed to try the enemy got set up for you is going to come back to get them.
Right.
And the same ones that lied on him, Darian said, go get them.
Yes, God.
Throw them in there.
Yes, God.
And they was ate up before they hit the floor of the lion's den. That thing the enemy is trying to set up to destroy you, it won't destroy you.
Talk, man.
It comes to build you.
Yes, God. Yes, God.
Trials and tribulations come to make us stronger.
Yes, sir.
Let me tell you something. Just because you're young people, don't mean you have to mingle with them.
Right.
Talk, man.
No, you don't.
Right.
King Nebuchadnezzar was young when he started anyway.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
God told Jeremiah, don't say that you're too young.
Yeah.
Come on now, to do a work for God.
Talk, man.
Just because it's before your face don't mean you have to go mingle in it.
Right. Yeah. You're right.
Be different.
Yes, sir.
It's nothing wrong with rocking along. Nothing wrong with rocking along.
You're right.
Why I did it? Because they was doing it. You better be careful, because sometimes being in the midst of a person can get you just as many years as they got.
Right.
Talk, man.
Come on.
Being in the wrong place at the wrong time can get that bullet that was meant for them and hit you.
Right.
Tell him.
Come on now.
Talk, man. That's real talk.
Come from amongst them and be ye separated.
Yes,
Right.
God. Yes, God.
Tell it.
Because if my friends get mad at me for telling them the truth, then they don't mean they my friends.
Right.
Hey,
Come on.
say it again.
Come on.
That don't mean they my friends.
Right.
They're not my friends. That means I need to check my list of friends and cut a lot of them off.
Yes, God. Yes,
That's what I need to do. And people always want to say they're so sensitive these days and want to be like, oh, you're so mean. No. He said the truth shall make you free. It saves your life. Pastor said it saves your life. The truth.
Right.
The truth. Cool ain't cool no more.
Right.
Talk, man.
Cool ain't cool no more.
Right about it.
Jesus.
I don't need a whole lot of people around me.
Talk, man.
If you don't like me, because this is what you're going to get. You're going to get Adrian. This is the real me.
Yes, God. Yes, God.
Yes. And when you decide to give the Lord your life,
Yes, sir.
and your light begins to shine,
Talk, man.
people going to leave around you. Why is that? Because light exposes everything.
Talk, man.
Yes, it does.
Light exposes everything.
Yes, God.
Mm.
Yes, God.
Because they don't want to show the real them.
Right.
Talk, man.
Say it.
Uh-huh.
Come on.
Because what's going to happen? God's going to reveal to you the real them. You couldn't see it in the dark. Let it get dark outside and you cut the lights off in this church. I'm probably going to run into everything in here.
Talk, man.
But light exposes everything.
Yes, God. Come on.
Light requires that you have to change.
Yes.
Amen.
Say it, man. Say it.
Come on.
And sometimes we don't want to change.
Yes, God.
But we have to change. In order to see God, we have to change. That's just simple and plain. That's how it is.
Yes, sir.
Let me tell you something. I said a long time ago, and I said, Lord, if I knew it was going to be this hard, Lord, I don't know what I got saved like this. Lord, I don't go through this. You know what I'm saying? I don't go through this. I'm tired now. I'm tired. I'm tired of being good, Lord. These folks talking crazy. Hey, let me tell you something. When I first got saved now, I was witnessing. I'm telling you, I was on fire. This boy told me, he said, man, I want to hear about your boop, boop, invisible God. I said, hey, now, look, I'm saved, but I ain't weak, boy.
What's up?
I'm about to get him at work. I ain't care if I got fired out, I'm about to bop him right upside the head. But the God in me. I'm telling you, because I know, thank God for change. Because I knew what I would have done. But then I look back and God said, you're going to suffer for my name's sake. They're going to come against you. They're going to throw lies out there. They're going to beat you down.
Amen.
Come on.
Mm.
Come on.
But I got your back.
All right.
And let me tell you how he got your back. The story about Jehoshaphat. Jehoshaphat against Moab and them, they was going up to, they knew that what they was plotting to do against him. But God told Jehoshaphat, he said, you're not going to even have to fight. Hey, listen to this. When Jehoshaphat got up to where he was going, they was dead already. They was dead already.
Come on.
Who said that God won't fight that battle for you? Be still and know that I'm God. You don't need to fight that battle. God don't need your hands in it. Because if you trust in God to do it, let him do it.
Go ahead.
It just showed you right here what he did for Daniel.
Say it.
It just showed you what he did for Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. It just showed you what he did for Paul and Silas locked up in the jailhouse.
Right.
Go ahead.
I heard the psalmist say, if I hold my peace, let the Lord fight my battle, victory shall be mine. That's what he said. If I hold my peace, let the Lord fight my battle. Victory shall be mine. God's calling for soldiers for the front line. That's going to do a work for him. He don't need spectators.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Come on.
Looking like this right here. Things get heated. What happened?
They go.
They go.
Quick.
Spectator looking. He looking from far off. Non-participant. That's what they are.
Yes, sir.
They ain't gonna participate in nothing. God said 2 or 3 touch and agree. I'm in the midst of them.
Come on.
I need you to help me pray because I'm going through something. I don't need you to run when the fire gets hot.
Say it.
I need you to stay here and help me.
Yes.
Let's put the enemy on a flank because we know we can do it because of who we serve.
Amen.
You have to know who you are and whose you are. And I belong to God. And I know He's going to fight my battle. And anything that I go through, He's going to work that thing out for me. It might not be when I want it,
There you go.
but He's going to show up on time.
Always go.
I'm telling you, in His time. His time is not like our time. But it's things that you just have to accept if you serving God. I heard the psalmist say this. If He did it before, He'll do it again. Same God right now, same God back then.
Amen.
That's how God works. But you have to trust Him. You have to trust Him. Because if you don't,
You're right.
it's not going to work for you. It's not going to work for you. It's as simple and plain as that. Like I told you, I threw fits.
Yes, God.
Wanted to give up because of my fiery furnace. But it was not about me. It was about God.
Yes.
Let this cup be passed from my hand. If this cup can be passed from my hand, let it be so. But not my will, but thy will be done. Oh my God. Somebody say, what is God's will for your life? Hey, it can be hard sometimes. But His will is the best will. He gonna take care of you. He gonna take care of you. You gotta know it. You gotta know He will. You gotta know He will. But it said after all of that, Shadrach and Meshach and Abednego was promoted.
Wow. Yes, God.
You hear what I just said?
Yes.
They was promoted.
Yes.
After all that you go through, at the end of everything, God's going to bless you. I always looked at it like this. When I'm going through something, God set me up for a blessing.
Yes, He did.
It's all in how I go through it. He set me up for a blessing. Look at Job. Job went through what he went through. Job was blessed double for his troubles. Look what Pastor said yesterday. With the event yesterday, look how God blessed.
Yes, God. Yes.
When you're doing what you need to do for God, when it's about God's business,
Right.
I told Jose going home yesterday, I said, man, did you see? Yesterday you had black, white, Mexican, all these people together.
Thank you, Jesus.
I said, did you see that?
Go ahead.
I said, because you have to show people love.
That's right.
With love and kindness I have drawn thee.
Yeah.
He said, yeah, if I'm preaching this thing without love, it's like a clanging cymbal just making a whole bunch of noise. That's all I'm doing. If I don't serve in love, it's in vain, man. People are really going through out there. And the only thing that's going to connect people to see the God in you is love.
Yeah.
For God so loved the world that he gave his son.
That's all.
People need love.
Amen.
People are broken. And we can sit here and say to ourselves, oh, they don't need no love. They just acting crazy. They need love.
That's right.
Somewhere down the road, they've been damaged.
Talk, man.
It don't matter who they've been damaged by, but they've been damaged.
Talk.
And as men and women of God, of children of God, we have to do what God sent us out to do.
Come on.
And that is to love them.
Yes. You're right.
Whether we accept it or not. Like Pastor was talking. People have stepped on us, beat us down, and we feel like we shouldn't forgive them. Well, how many times have we stepped on Christ?
Oh, yeah.
How many times have we stepped on him?
Yeah.
Over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Still, man.
Y'all might not have, but I have.
Oh, man.
I have. I have. I'm gonna sum this up like this. Don't let your fiery furnace kill you. Allow it to build you.
Yes, God.
Allow it to build you.
Yes.
Because what's gonna come out of that thing is greater than what you went through.
Yeah. Amen.
Even if it's just a peace of mind.
Amen.
People always look for things to come in a form of money or this. No. God don't work like that all the time.
Right.
God don't work like that all the time. You just need some healing in your life.
There you go.
Yeah.
Of a situation that you've been dealing with. That been driving you crazy or come to destroy you. All things work together for the good of those who love the Lord and those who are called according to his purpose. My aunt told me, she said, quit having a fit with things. Because you having a fit with it, it's not gonna make it better. Quit having a fit with it. Go. I heard a rapper talking. I don't listen to rap, but I heard a rapper talking. And this is what he said. Man, just go through it. Now listen, man, just go through it. Now whatever else he was talking about to somebody else now, I got it that from it. Man, just go through it. When God is taking you, just go through it. Just go through it. By you bucking up, throwing fits. Ain't gonna do it, make the situation way more harder. Make it worse, and you really gonna lose your mind then. Fighting a battle that you can't win. Because you're not gonna win. We're not talking about a physical fight, this is a spiritual fight.
Amen.
And you ain't gonna win that. You ain't gonna win that. Let me let you know something. When people have this tendency of trying to attack you and trap you. It said this man had a donkey. And the donkey fell in the well. And it said that the man called his friends to help get the donkey out of the well. And it said that they couldn't get the donkey out of the well. So the man just thought to himself, I will just bury the donkey alive. So he took shovels and started dumping dirt off in the well.
There you go.
On top of the donkey. But that's not how the story ended.
That's right.
It said the man heard something coming out of the well.
That's done.
And he said he looked down in the well. And the donkey was shaking the dirt off, packing it on his feet to come out of the well. Sometimes you have to use what people are throwing at you and pack it under your feet to step out of that situation. Okay? Huh? To step out of what the enemy is trying to bury you with. But look at it like this. It ain't time for me to die yet, devil. God got greater for me than you can see. Huh? God said, greater is he that's in me than he that's in the world. So if greater is in me, I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. You better know, like I said, who you are and whose you are. And let that crap that you're going through get up under your feet and pack it and step up out of that. Hey, y'all have a blessed day.
Say it, bro. Say it, bro. Say it, man. Yes, sir.